Hey everyone, now that everyone's sort of working virtually, I thought I'd show off the virtual background that I've been working on in Unreal Engine. These backgrounds can be used for a ton of different applications, from live streaming to video content creation to a sort of more professional workflow. So before I get into the process that I use to create the actual background, I just wanted to say that if you or somebody that you know wants to create a virtual background and you either don't have the skills to do it, or you do have the skills but you're just having trouble realizing what you want to create, just give me a shout out and I'll definitely help, and I'd be willing to create virtual backgrounds for you as well. So let's get into the process a little bit. Whenever I'm creating one of these virtual backgrounds, I always use a couple of different real world parameters to get me started. I always measure from the ground to the top of my desk, which never moves. I measure from the top of my desk to the location in which the camera is mounted. In my case, the camera is mounted above my monitor. That's why I'm looking up a little bit. And then you always want to have some good accent lighting that sort of shines onto yourself to give you a nice sort of wash of color, depending on what the background color palette is. So I have two RGB LED lights on either side of me that I can change to any color that I want. So that's the sort of physical setup. Now, I always take that physical setup and translate it into the digital world. So I go into my 3D program, I create my desk plane at the height that it exists in real life within the 3D program, as well as I locate the camera and the two lights that I'm using within the scene as well. So once I have all of that set up, I also want to match the focal length of the camera that I'm using. So for instance, right now, I think I have a very wide sort of view set up on my camera. I think it's at like 18 millimeters or something very, very low. So in Unreal Engine, I'll match that lens length to my physical camera so that the background sort of blends in with the foreground and you don't have any sort of distortion with the different lens lengths. After I do that, I will set up my scene. I'll export it as an image sequence, and then I'll just render it out in Adobe Premiere as a video. Most of the time, these videos are only like 1 or 2 minutes long, so that I get sort of a long enough length of time. In this instance, for this video, you can see that the colors are changing on this right here from pinks to blues. So I set up sort of like a 2 minute, I guess, repeating pattern that gives me enough time so that it's not noticeable to you that that's sort of on a repeating loop behind me. So once I render out that video, I will bring it into OBS with my webcam as two separate layers. The video on the bottom in OBS that is set to loop so that it's just a nonstop scroll of all the lights changing around me. And then my webcam on top that has a chroma key filter to filter out the green screen behind me. And it takes a little bit of playing with those settings to get the green screen to sort of completely disappear. But one of the things that helped me was to set up two larger lights that are sort of washing just a warm white light onto the green screen behind me to create this sort of even plane that can then be sort of keyed out very easily. And other than that, that's about it. Once you have all of that set up in OBS, you can just hit record or stream, or you can even set it up as its own sort of OBS webcam that then works with Microsoft Teams or WebEx or Zoom or Skype or whatever your preferred method is. And it should all work as you see it working behind me right now. So if you like the video, feel free to reach out and comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.